Welcome back to Reaper's Candle, and this video is the final segment of the 4-part experiment that I was doing, where I would just select a single totem for each week, starting off from the first week all the way up to the 4th week, and we would just be changing the decks to check the current energy and then the percentage progress on your goal progression that you would have liked to complete by the end of December 2022. So, without further ado, we will get started, but before I do that, I would like to thank the 167 subscribers that I have up to so far. So it seems like 7 subscribers have joined since last week. And I would also like to shout out to the public subscriber, Love, Andrea. And I would also like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Depending on whether you celebrate it or not, it's still a very warm and festive part of the year, and it always brings in good tidings, blessings, and it is the end of the year, so with the new year starting, you can always look forward to the next coming year with a new perspective and kind of take this moment out to reflect on the current year that has passed by and how you can improve where you need to or want to in the coming year. Okay, so like I said, whichever pile totem you guys picked in the first week, just select that pile in the description box below. And we've got again pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And then I'll be doing a current energy read. So just ground yourself and meditate, and I'll give you a little bit of while to do that. And focus on the question, what can I do this week of December 2022 to accomplish my goal by the end of this year in December 2022? Okay, go ahead, guys. Okay, so we can get started on your readings, and if you guys like the video and it resonates, please give a thumbs up on the video or leave a comment in the comment box below. And if you would like to see more videos like this, or any of the videos that I've recently uploaded onto my channel, you can always subscribe or just hit the notification bell so you know when it's being uploaded. Okay, and one final thing, if you guys have any criticisms or the video doesn't resonate, do let me know in the feedback below in the comment boxes, because that does provide me with more information to create more detailed and accurate readings. As well, there could be sometimes misunderstanding because the way I communicate sometimes in videos can be a little confusing or just too much to intake. So I can clarify any issues that could be caused by my miscommunication. Okay? Yeah, so enjoy your reading, guys, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful, healthy, happy, instinctual week. And if anyone is in Canada or anywhere else that the snowstorm has hit recently, please do stay safe and enjoy the chaotic weather a little bit, okay? Bye, guys. Okay, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So, like I said, when I shuffled the decks originally for the intro to the video, I left them shuffled, and then just the bottom of the deck cards are going to be used to read your current energy. Now, after this, I'm going to reshuffle this deck and calculate how far you guys have progressed in a percentage form to accomplishing your goal by the end of this year. And then I'm going to take at some physical actions that you can do with some detailed analysis, as well as some characteristics you can embody with some physical analysis this week specifically, so that you can accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. Okay, so we're going to get started on the reading. Now, with your overall energy in your current situation right now, I am seeing we got the Judgment card, but instead of focusing in on this portal, I was focusing more on this tree, and I felt like you were climbing this tree step by step and trying to go for the true enlightenment that is right past the canopy of the branches and leaves that cover the forest with all of these big trees. And you're climbing up there, and you're almost, you can like literally see the sunlight through the branches and leaves, and you're almost there. But yeah, you're not being distracted by escapism or any sort of like trying to kind of avoid the fact that you will have to work and make an effort to reach the place that you want to reach and escape this dark shadow area. So you guys are definitely in this energy of kind of dealing with their shadows and step by step and one by one, and then getting to a much more positive area through your own persistent, patient, and determined effort without any distractions or any sort of like rebounding back into the shadows by using this escapism route. Now, right under it is the Five of Cups, and I was focusing in on this ship right here instead of the rock. So that's, again, just reconfirming that you are moving away from this kind of stagnant and stuck position in life, and specifically with Five of Cups coming underneath Judgment, it's again this idea of dealing with your negative emotions and moving away from them to brighter shores. And then finally, you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So again, it's this idea of not really like the physical reality of things in terms of what's improving. It's mostly emotions, okay? So you've got shadows, you've got emotional traumas or situations, and then you've got Pentacles in reverse, which is the opposite of physical reality. So that would be kind of more like wands energy. So that would be like decision making. Now, instead of focusing in on here, I was focusing in on this window right here. So that seems like, even though this says it's a Three of Pentacles, I was focusing in on these Five Pentacle windows over here. And it seems to me that you guys have, rather than being in the energy of making your physical abundance, I think you guys have reached your physical abundance that you wanted or required. Or you guys are at the point where you have physical abundance, yes, but you may want to work for it more in the future. I was seeing more so that you've reached the physical abundance that you wanted, but for those of you who do want to work more towards more physical abundance in the future, you've got a pretty good like foundation and balance right now in your physical realm to be able to help you and support you in moving forward to create more physical wealth and happiness. Okay, so now we will look at your percentage progress in terms of your goal. Okay, so pile one, in terms of how far you guys have reached in a percentage form to accomplishing your goal that you would have liked to achieved by the end of December 2022 or next week, we got the Knight of Cups. So because it's in reverse, it's giving me very mature energy. As well, when I was reading the Knight of Cups, in my head, it was being read as Nine of Cups. So it was giving me very much a 99%, 90% type of vibe. So some of you may be at the 90% mark, some of you may be at the 99% mark. But regardless, you guys are in the high 90s. And as you can see, her hands, which is what I focused on, are very close to her heart, but they're not touching. So she's very close to accomplishing. You guys are very close to accomplishing the goal that you would like to accomplish, but it hasn't been finished yet. There's just a little bit more effort or a pathway that you need to go on to accomplish this goal. Now, looking at the cards underneath, we've got strength. And again, I just focused on the infinity card. So you guys are, again, like I said, almost complete. I'm hearing the word 100%, but it will require some effort and strength on your behalf to kind of stay in this positive realm of energy and to stay focused on your goal as well and determined towards it. Not letting yourself be distracted by anything foolish or anything that would like to kind of break down your positive energy. Okay? And then finally, with the third card underneath is the Hierophant. So again, you guys need to be patient and you guys really need to keep on going on your journey to decide what is right, what is wrong for accomplishing the goal. But the Hierophant is, again, a mature position. And this Knight of Cups coming out in reverse is almost like the King of Cups, which is a mature male energy. And the Hierophant is also a mature male energy. And both the King of Cups and the Hierophant deal with patience and temperance. So again, it's this idea of just remaining patient and true to your goal and really approaching your goal from your own perspective of what's right and wrong rather than letting other people decide whether you are making the right move or not. Okay? So your percentage progress, I would just like to summarize, is 90 to 99%. Most of you have 99%. Some of you may be in the 90s, like anywhere 91, 92, something like that. But the main thing is that you're almost there to complete your goal, but you haven't quite completed it yet. You just need to require a little bit more patience and a little bit more determinedness on accomplishing your goal, and then you'll be set. Okay? So pile 1, I asked what physical actions you can do, and to me, it didn't give me any specific physical actions like running around or anything like that. It was more so giving me a vibe of the physical actions that you will do may be causing some sort of physical pain. And to others, it might look like you're harming yourself, but you're really not, because when I was seeing this, it seemed very much like a focused effort on the goal so much that you kind of deny anything negative that is happening to you or kind of obstructing you from accomplishing this goal. That's the kind of vibe that I was getting. So it's not like you're harming yourself, but to others it may seem like you're kind of pushing your physical limits, and so that is technically harming yourself. They may become concerned for you. Yeah. And specifically, I was seeing something to do with the legs. So you may be a runner or a jogger, or you may even be like starting to run or jog, because especially with like these ballerina things, it's just reconfirming that feet and leg message, because these ballerina shoes are supposed to make you dance forever. So you may be putting a lot of effort or doing a lot of practice in terms of running or jogging, and that may be looking to other people like you're hurting yourself by pushing yourself to run or jog for so long or so many days without any rest or anything like that. And even though you are in a way harming yourself because you're pushing yourself beyond your physical limits, you are. I'm not going to say that you aren't, but it's very much a superficial pain or harm. It's something that you can deal with, and it's not going to lead to any sort of internal or permanent damage. It's more like, when you go to the workout for the first time in a long while and you get sore. Yeah, you went beyond your physical limits, but you didn't damage anything. Rather, you did exactly what that soreness of muscles is implying that your body is doing. That you're breaking down certain negative things, right, and releasing them. And then you are revealing your true character or building yourself up stronger. And that's basically what's happening with this pain. Like, you can see that even though she's scratching herself and it looks like it really hurts because it's really red, and it's even torn her skin to reveal like certain black parts, if you can see that, right? But to her, she does not look phased. She is completely determined and focused on, well, this is the Swan Princess, so she's completely determined and focused on gaining that prince and the power and whatever, right? And accomplishing her goal. But yeah, in the way, she is harming herself, but only on a superficial level. But even that superficial harm is actually going to help her or you release certain flaws and negative things that have happened in your life, like negative emotions. And it is going to help you reveal your true self, your true character, and actually make you much more stronger and resilient, because you would have gone through this pain to kind of build up those values and strengthen those values and be true to yourself. Okay? I will ask specifically how you can kind of reveal your true self and let these negative emotions go in the detailed analysis. But for now, we're going to move on to the characteristics. Okay, so pile 1, I asked about the characteristics that you can embody this week, and the 2 cards that came out are the same cards that came out for your current progression on the goal, right? But just in reverse order. Okay, so you've got the Strength again, and you've got the Knight of Cups in reverse again. So with the Strength card, the characteristic that you need to embody is kind of like a very kind of I'm gonna do it whether you like it or not type of energy. Okay, it's going to require strength on your behalf to kind of face the obstructions or obstacles that come in your way, whether that is in the form of like physical pain, right, coming from here, or it is the pushing your mental limits, maybe, because once you get physical pain, your mental limits kind of decrease, so do your emotional limits, and you kind of start to waver on your goals focus. But you need to stay strong in the face of that as well. And then also with your emotional obstacles that could be coming in the form of people who care and love about you, telling you, you know, you're kind of going beyond your limits, or you're trying to accomplish something that you can't achieve, something like that. You need to kind of, you know, embody this no F's given, or kind of like a little bit annoyed and like, are you really serious about this right now type of energy that the lion is giving off. And just stay focused on your goal, and if you want, just listen to them and then go back to what you were doing. And specifically in this example, I was seeing like a young man, maybe 26, 27 years old. You could be younger, like maybe 19 or 20 years old, but someone in like the college era, or the youth age range, sitting, playing games on the sofa, and or maybe even on your phone, checking like, I don't know, TikTok, or talking to someone, I don't know. But the thing is that you guys are just relaxing on the day off, and it seems like your mom comes up to you and says, you know, you're really pushing your limit and you shouldn't be doing this. It's going to cause you physical harm and all that stuff. And just as a side disclaimer, if you truly think that this activity is going to cause you physical harm, and you have confirmed evidence or something like that, like from the doctors or something, that this is going to cause permanent damage or internal damage in some way, then please do not pursue this activity, because I would never try to kind of push you to do something that would cause you harm, especially in a longer term way. But if it isn't something that's causing a longer term damage or permanent damage, then, you know, by all means go through it, because like we say in that saying, no pain, no gain, right? And that doesn't mean pushing yourself to the point of breakage, but to put yourself through things that may seem like they're giving you a lot of pain, because emotionally, mentally, and physically they may be a test based against your mental, emotional, and physical status at that moment, but it's not like they'll be harming you in any way. And they will actually allow you to gain more strength physically, mentally, and emotionally in the long term. Okay? But I was seeing that the mom comes and you kind of listen to her, you kind of pause the game or just let the game play, whatever it's happening, and you just have the phone kind of dangling in your hand. But you pay attention to her, listen to what she wants to say. Once she's done, you literally don't say anything. You just turn back to your game or you turn back to your phone. And then she just really releases like a big sigh of kind of like desperation and like this isn't gonna fix anything by talking to him, and just walks away. And so at that moment, she's kind of accepted that you're going to do what you are going to do. And that leads me to the second point is you can see like her hands are in her heart again. And again, it's this idea of kind of staying true to yourself and deciding what is right and wrong to do based on what you feel is right and wrong to do. Okay? So now with these questions, I'm going to ask, how can you stay strong in the face of mental, emotional, and physical adversity? And for this, I'm going to ask, how will you know what is the right thing to do? What feels right to do? Okay? Okay, so pile one, I asked, what can you do to kind of reveal your true character? And what can you do to release these negative emotions that you may have inside of yourself? And I am also going to talk about this overall card with justice and how it ties these two things in together. But from the very first thing of how to reveal your true character, I was focusing, you got the Six of Cups in reverse, and I was focusing in on these windows over here. Now, this kind of reminded me of a movie, Mirror Mask, where she kind of gets transported into an alternate dimension that she's created. And she doesn't realize where she is at because she got transferred there when she was sleeping. But she just wakes up somehow there. Now, as she's going through the city, she notices that the windows in these buildings, some of them have memories or like these image, like visions from her lifetime. But the thing is, what she thinks are memories at first, she starts to soon realize that they are actually things that are happening in her life currently, or they happened very recently. And basically what is happening is, in these visions that she sees, in one vision she's fighting with her father, in one vision she's making out with some person that's not a good person, and in the third vision it shows that her mother is kind of laying in a hospital bed and is on like the ventilator and all that stuff, and she's basically dying. Okay, so these three visions specifically would kind of give you details or like hints as to what you need to specifically think about when you're thinking about things that have happened in your life recently or are happening currently. Specific situations, maybe you lost something very dear to you, maybe you are doing or you did do something that kind of caused you down the path of ruin and negativity and kind of like this rebellious freedom that doesn't serve you in any purpose but rather just harms you, but you think you're being free. And finally, with the vision of fighting with your mother, maybe you got into a fight with someone very close or dear to you because you thought you were doing the right thing, or because you wanted, to keep on doing what you were doing without anyone trying to kind of tell you to calm down or be positive. Because why they get into an argument is that in the vision she's seeing, she's fighting against her father because the father is kind of worried that she's ripping down all of her paintings. And he's telling her not to do that because those are how she expresses her emotions and kind of deals with things that are happening in her life. And that's why they get into an argument. basically that her personality is changing. So there may have been a moment in your life currently where you got into an argument because you were kind of destroying things that you actually loved before, and you still do, but just because, like I said, there is this rebellious freedom nature to you that you may have picked that path because you thought, oh, it's going to be more fun and more freeing and independent and I can do what I want. But in actuality, it was just leading you down a negative rabbit hole of like dark things, losing your loved ones, losing the things that you love to do and love, and kind of causing negative confrontations with your family members or the people who actually care and love you. Okay? Now, the second thing that you need to do to kind of release your negative emotions is, I was seeing some sort of night or nature ritual where you kind of, specifically I was seeing like rose petals during the nighttime or during the full moon time, where you kind of have a basket of rose petals and you pick up a rose petal, you whisper or you kind of intend that this rose petal means this negative emotion, and you kind of release it into the wind or the air. And you could do this either through that rose petal ritual. You could also do this like by just screaming out your negative emotions, or you could do this by taking a deep breath in, making sure that your intention is there to release a specific negative emotion, and then releasing out that deep breath into the wind or the air. And this again has to do with the idea of running and jogging, because like I said, the running and jogging is kind of like this wind is rushing against you and you are kind of going at this really fast pace of energy, which is going to help you release your negative emotions. So it could be that this action is also just that running or jogging action. Okay, so anything basically to do with rushing wind, or like floating wind, something like that, where the wind is moving. That is how you're going to release your emotions, okay? And now I wanted to share this overall card, how it ties everything together. Is this overall card is justice. So it's really asking you to be just towards your emotions, but also towards your visions or like the things that have happened in your life. Don't be like super beating up yourself about these things that have happened in the past, right? Just kind of acknowledge that they happened and move on by releasing any negative emotions that you may have attached to those situations or you may have felt in those situations. Okay? Yep, that's it. So now I'm going to ask about the characteristics, and that'll be your reading, guys. Okay, pile one. So this is your reading, all right, for your characteristics. For this one, I asked 3 different questions, since there are 3 different types of obstructions that could show up in your life. And this is the answer for dealing with physical obstructions, this is for mental obstructions, and this is for emotional obstructions. All right, and then this Knight of Cups in reverse, I asked, how can you decide what is the right thing to do? And for that, the answer is the Hermit. Okay. So starting off with the Hermit, all right, because it'll be easier to get that out of the way before we go into the detailed explanation of the other stuff. With the Hermit, how you can decide what is the right thing to do is what makes you feel passionate about doing it. What makes you feel kind of very excited and happy from the inside, like you're literally going to combust with this amazing happy energy. And that's pretty much the answer. Okay. So whichever thing makes you feel happy to do it, or makes you feel like you will literally it basically makes you feel like a little child getting excited for some sort of trip in the morning. Okay. So if you have that type of energy on the inside when thinking about doing a specific task or a specific action, you should definitely go ahead and do that, because that is the right thing to do for you. And specifically with the Hermit coming in, the Hermit is supposed to be a very much kind of like this isolated, self-deciding, and very scholarly person, okay? Someone who's makes decisions, but takes a little bit of time to kind of internally reflect and then make a decision based on that reflection. And that's the same thing that's happening here. So if you need to make a decision, again, there's this patient energy that is being called to be used to kind of decide what to do when you're trying to accomplish this goal. Okay? And basically that means is to reflect within yourself and think about what makes you feel this childlike happy energy. Okay, this excited energy. And then based on whatever your answer is, to take control of that action and that decision and to follow through with it. Okay? Now we'll go into the rest of the things. So with the physical obstructions, what can you do? Okay, so first thing is to stay very focused on your goal. You can see all this person, and even these people are very much serious and very much concentrated, especially these two. But these two came out together. So I'm going to tell you that with the Six of Wands and the Ace of Swords, it's basically saying not to get distracted by anything shiny or fancy looking. Okay, just in the aesthetics of it. And to, basically just stay focused on your goal and constantly remind yourself, if you do find yourself being distracted, that there is something that is more important, and to think about that goal when comparing it to these physical distractions in your world or your life. Okay? Now with the Four of Cups, drink a lot of water and do make sure to rest, so that you are approaching whatever this goal is at a steady and a healthy pace. Okay, you don't want to wear yourself out, so you do want to make sure that you're still taking care of your basic needs like water, like resting, and even these petals kind of look like nuts or seeds, so make sure to be eating those as well, like 20 or a handful, whatever, each day at morning breakfast or something like that. And then with the Justice, so just kind of go with the flow of things. Don't end up getting stuck on something if you don't do it one day, but obviously the next day you want to get back onto your routine. And during that day, you don't want to kind of dispose of the other things that you could be doing either. So if you miss, like maybe, for example, if you're going on a morning jog and you're trying to lose weight or something like that, right? Then if you miss one day of jogging, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's fine. But you want to continue to do that jog the next day, okay? Or you can even make up for it in the evening time. Even if it's not like according to your schedule, you can make it up, okay? If you don't want to make it up and you just want to keep up the schedule, or you don't have time to make it up in that day, then just keep to the same schedule. You don't have to do extra work the next day. Just accept that on today you didn't go for a jog. And then all you have to do is keep on, drinking water, resting good, eating your nuts and seeds, and staying focused on the goal and staying away from distracting or alluring things. Okay? So that's basically what it is. Now, moving on to the mental obstructions. We have the Five of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Fool all in reverse. Okay, so for mental obstructions, with the Five of Swords, we're basically getting defeat or kill these thoughts. Okay, so any negative thoughts that come into your mind, just get rid of them. Okay, and I know how easy it is to say that, but it's also easy to do when you just decide, like, you know what? You're not worth my time. Get out of my head. Okay? Now, even though if you cannot kill or destroy these thoughts by just like saying, get out, or like ignoring them or things like that, then the way to do it is to actually take those thoughts, know that you're in control of those thoughts first. Acknowledge that fact, that those thoughts don't just pop up out of nowhere. They're there because your brain thought that they need to be there. And once you take those thoughts, then you can gain some critique or feedback from them. And you can try to understand why you are having these thoughts. Maybe they are giving you signs or tips on what to do better. Okay? And then you also have to approach these thoughts with a more positive outlook. Okay? So if they come, they come. It doesn't really matter. But you also need to, at the same time, be thinking more positive thoughts. So when they do come, kind of defeat them with more positivity than ignoring them or just like, throwing them away like you don't matter. Okay? So kill them with kindness. So an example of this could actually be like I sometimes have difficulty kind of motivating myself because I feel so overwhelmed by the actual task at hand. And sometimes they'll thoughts like, oh, but I don't have the skills to do this. I won't be able to do it successfully or perfectly. I don't think I'm at that level that they're requiring. Well, what is that telling me? First of all, that's telling me that I'm insecure about myself, right? And that doesn't go away by just telling the thoughts, shoo. That is giving me information about myself. That is giving me that I'm insecure about my skills. I'm maybe unsure about what the actual roles and responsibilities of the jobs are. Maybe they've written it so professionally that I'm kind of confused about what the job actually is. And because of their high level of professionalism, I'm thinking they require a high level of task ability, right? Number 3, what are the skills that I think maybe I'm not, meeting them at or unable to meet them at? So that all gives me clues as to what I need to work on. I need to work on my confidence. I need to work on maybe I need to understand what they are requiring more better. And I also need to work on the skills that I feel that I may be shortcome in. Okay? And then I'm going to look at it. So I'm looking at it positively already, right? I'm not looking at it from this is it and I can't ever accomplish this goal because this is what I am, I'm looking at it more from a growth perspective, a more positive perspective, and a mature perspective, which is the opposite of the fool. Okay? Now, moving on to the emotional obstructions, you have the 5 of Cups, the Devil in upright, and then the King of Wands in reverse. All right, guys. So for your emotional obstructions, with the 5 of Cups, it's basically saying don't cry over things that have happened or that maybe like current negative situations that are happening. Don't cry over them, okay? Because crying is not going to help you. Crying is just going to keep you in the same kind of negative position of self-pity and wallowing up in it. It's not going to help you get out anywhere, okay? And then with the Devil, it's kind of telling us to not become attached to these emotional obstructions. Okay, so sometimes maybe someone will come to kind of share their emotions with you, or maybe they're not they don't think what you're doing is right, so they may try to use like emotional blackmail or their own emotional expression to kind of reel you back in towards their way of thinking. And that's basically what I'm seeing this chain whip as, right? Something that once you grab a hold of it because you wanted to, even try to like protect your view or your perspective, you've been caught. Now you're just going to slowly come back into their way of thinking. So you want to avoid that. So even if there are people that are coming at you and trying to tell you, oh, what you're doing is wrong, this isn't right, or you're making me feel this way, and that's annoying me or frustrating me or making me sad or whatever, because of what you are doing, you have to remember this strength energy. You have to remain in that, similar to that mother-son example that I gave. Listen, but be completely detached from the situation and what they are kind of expressing or emoting, okay? You need to understand that where they're coming from, obviously, because they could be people that actually love you and care about you, but at the same time, you also have to stay focused on your goals. So you can't get attached and kind of brought into their sphere of thinking even like if you're trying to protect your goal, that's not a good idea, because that's how they're going to get you to kind of come and basically use up your energy in a negative way with the situation that they have going on. Okay, so you want to avoid attaching yourself to any emotional obstructions. And then finally, we've got the King of Wands in reverse. And you can see that there's a snake over here. And that's what I noticed. I never noticed that. Okay, I always focus on his face. But this time I noticed that there was a snake there in the corner. So there may be people that are trying to mess with your thought process, trying to distract you by kind of luring you like a snake would, away from accomplishing your goals and trying to entice you to break your routine or the steps that you are taking. And you need to not listen to those people. You need to let their words fall flat on the floor and not even get in your energy sphere or in your head. Okay, do not let their thoughts into your head, because their thoughts are their thoughts and your thoughts are your thoughts, and you need to keep your thoughts very clear and focused. And do not let any sort of emotional baggage, emotional blackmail, emotional, messing up of your thoughts and your energy in any way come into your life. Be completely detached from whatever these people are saying or doing. Okay? All right, Padawan, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and the advice was very helpful for this coming week. And I hope you guys accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. Enjoy your week and have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Okay, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. And as last week, I'm going to be doing a current energy reading with the shuffle deck from the pile selection or intro phase of this video. And then I'm going to also reshuffle this deck to gain a percentage-wise progress of how far you guys are to accomplishing your goal by the end of December 2022. And then I'm going to take a look at some physical actions you can do this week and some characteristics that you can embody this week, all with detailed analysis and like tips and instructions, etc., to understand what you can do this week and how you can think this week to be able to accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. Okay, so let's get started with the reading. And very first off, we are reading your current energy, okay? So with your current energy, you got the Seven of Cups as the overall or the bottom deck card, okay? Now with this, I can see that you guys are, like, your current energy is basically that you guys are very much emotionally abundant and blessed right now, okay? But I think you guys may also be very protective of this emotional blessing and abundance. I've also seen these two skulls. That means like you guys may have gone through two traumatic events or two emotionally traumatizing moments in your life, or very hurtful moments in your life, which kind of led you to become this protective, emotionally protective person. But at the same time, the treasure is open. So it's almost like you're wary and you're on guard of anyone trying to steal your emotional treasure and fulfillment. But it is also, you also trust that whoever comes to you for this emotional abundance or blessing is not going to steal it and just run away. Okay? Yeah. So you're in a very emotionally abundant position, but also emotionally protective. So it's a very balanced position that you are in right now. With the Two of Wands coming out right underneath it, that basically means, again, that you are not only getting really good at making decisions accurately and quickly, but you are also maybe in a current energy of making a decision that you will have to decide on very soon. And just know that whatever decision you make will be the right one, but it is a decision that you'll have to make soon for your emotional happiness, okay? Because again, you can see there's a moon and a sun in the background. And when you make this decision, right, it's going to lead you to the sun energy. So that's, again, complete happiness and fulfillment. And this idea of kind of holding your happiness in your hand. And with the sun card, I'm also seeing that your current energy is creating your own happiness and your positivity. Okay. And you can also kind of see how the cards transitioned from a very like how do I express this? First of all, the environment is changing very through the cards, right? We're going from like a watery, dark environment to like a medium lit environment with the moon and the air type of environment here. And then with the sun, we've got the ground or earth, and we've got these bright colors and the sun in the background. So it's this transition from more of an emotional, like a heart emotion, to a mental emotion, to kind of like a physical emotion. Okay. And it's very much, you guys are very much growing into these people that are not only creating or manifesting their happiness or what they want in life, but you will be able to make decisions very quickly and accurately, and they'll always be the right decisions, most likely. And you are also going to be very emotionally abundant, but at the same time not so open with your emotion to let anyone in to steal it, right, and traumatize you again. Okay? So now we'll look at the actual goal progress. Okay, so pile 2. This is the percentage progress reading of your goal accomplishment. Now, with the sun, I'm getting the 100% vibe, but at the same time, some of you may not have accomplished it yet. So we'll see what's underneath. Oh, wow. All right, 2 of Wands. So that's 20%. And the 7 of Cups. Okay, that's really strange why those things are coming up. So basically, you just got your overall cards again. Okay. So pile 2, I believe most of you have accomplished your goal. If not, you guys are either at the 20% mark or the 70% mark. So you better rev up your engines for the last week. No, but in all seriousness, most of you have accomplished your goal. And like I said, this goal has to do with, I think this goal does have to do with emotional abundance and just being true to yourself and being yourself. So I think in that aspect, most of you would have accomplished your goal by now. And the last week, we'll see what we can do with the last week, but yeah, that's basically it. You guys have accomplished your goal. All right, let's see what physical actions we can do. Okay, so pile 2, I asked what physical actions you can do this week to accomplish your goal. Now, for those of you who have accomplished your goal, this could also be just talking about another goal that you want to accomplish, or if like in the future you want to accomplish another goal, what physical actions you could do. But for those who haven't accomplished their goal, I think there's a few of you who haven't accomplished your goal yet, and you're kind of like really at the beginning of it. This is basically advice for you guys. And this over here are the characteristics that you need to embody this week. Now, this can be regardless of whether you accomplished your goal or not. It could also be just to keep your goal accomplished. So we're going to take a look at that as well later on. So first, we've got the Judgment in reverse. So the first physical action that you can do, okay, is these 3 cards in combination. Okay, so you got the Judgment in reverse, the Hermit, and then the Page of Wands. So this is with the Judgment, I was focusing in on this. So this is kind of like expressing yourself or letting go of your inhibitions, the things that are kind of keeping you from actually progressing forward. And then with the Hermit, I was seeing like to kind of protect your goal from anything that could be kind of seeking to hurt it or damage it or kind of distract you away from it. Okay, so you really need to kind of hold your goal delicately and focus in on it and protect it. And then with the Page of Wands, it's definitely giving me an energy of kind of putting your decisions into motion and really being in control of your own decision. Don't let anyone else kind of howl you or like bother you into doing something that you don't want to do. Okay? So together, this is really just talking about expressing your goals and releasing your fears or the things that could be kind of stopping you from actually proceeding forward on your goal. And then at the same time, to actually be taking a decisive step towards your goal and really controlling how your goal kind of progresses. With the Page of Wands, I was also seeing you kind of planning or writing out your goals, whether that's step by step, creating a detailed plan or whatnot, or even just a general idea of what your goal actually is. Just make sure that you are writing it down clearly so that you understand what your goal is and how you need to get there. I would suggest writing down steps, but it could also be kind of that your goal itself could be related to just writing something. And in that sense, you have to kind of put your thoughts down slowly and bit by bit. Then the second action that you can do is the Two of Wands, the Sun, and the Four of Coins in reverse. So this is really, you can see that there's circular images in all of these kind of pictures. And on top of that, we also got two of the overall cards that you had, not only in your progress, but also in your current energy. So really what you need to do this week is to decide what step to take, okay? And then after you've decided what step to take, then you need to kind of focus on that step. And if you need to, after that step has been completed, right? If you need to focus on adapting the goal, adapt the goal and the steps or the plan, right? But if you don't need to, then just keep on focused on the goal and remind yourself, renew your happiness with the goal and like why you wanted to do the goal in the first place, okay? So after each step that you have accomplished in your goal accomplishment plan, remind yourself by refocusing on the goal and why you want to accomplish it. And then finally with the Four of Pentacles, I think you need to focus on money as sort of a guiding factor on whether you're accomplishing your goal or not, okay? This could also be like how you calculate whether your goal has progressed or been accomplished, or the step has been accomplished or taken place. And because the Four of Pentacles is coming out in reverse, right? Is basically using money as a factor to kind of understand, have I accomplished the step? Have I accomplished the goal? But not as a motivator to accomplish the goal. Okay? Not as a step or as the goal itself to basically say like, oh, my goal is to make a lot of money. No, your goal is not to make a lot of money. And your goal is, one of your goal steps is also not to make a certain amount of money. No. Your goal, money can be used to kind of measure how far along you are in your goal, but it is not your goal. Your goal is something completely different and else. All right, so now with the characteristics that you need to embody this week, we have the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So right off the bat with the Eight of Pentacles, it seems like you have to be very protective of your resources, okay? Use them wisely and don't try to like just spend them unnecessarily, okay? Yeah, and with this rose crown over here, it feels like you guys are smart about this, so you don't have to worry too much about whether you're going to protect it or not. You guys know how to protect your money if you need to. And then with the Knight of Swords energy, definitely proceed with your actions with haste and with a passion, okay? Don't kind of make the plan and then just kind of delay it, you know? Once you made the plan, take those steps quickly, okay? To actually put your plan into motion and to start to actually accomplish your goal. And like I said, this week, for those of you who have not accomplished your goal yet, those 70% people, this week may be one of those weeks where everything kind of feels super rushed because you have to do so many things to finally accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. But like I said, if you create a plan, you'll be fine. And obviously follow through with the plan. And then the Emperor energy, basically, that you need to embody this week is basically taking a stand and being firm in your goal accomplishment. Okay, so now that you've created a plan, you want to stay firm on that plan. You don't want to deviate from it. No matter what happens, no matter who invites you out or what you need to do that weekend, doesn't matter. You need to stay firm on your plan, okay? And again, with the sword coming here, again, it's saying to be firm in your actions as well. To not be wishy-washy about the way that you actually take the step. If you want to take the step, you take the step completely and with all of your energy and effort and focus going into that step. Don't try to kind of distract yourself with something else. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at a more detailed analysis of these actions and this characteristics. So for this characteristic, for this action, we're going to see how can you protect your goal, and I want to say how can you start to get writing, or how can you write your goal plan out. And then with this action, I'm going to say how can you make a decision on which step to take. No. I'm going to actually ask how can you stay focused on the goal and keep on reminding yourself and kind of energizing yourself with this positive energy to be able to accomplish that goal. And how is money going to be used as a factor to measure your goal? Okay, we're going to take a look at that. And then with this, we are going to, I know that you guys are already good on saving your resources and things like that when you want to. With the Knight of Swords, I'm going to see how can you embody this energy, or this Knight of Swords energy. What can you do this week to embody this energy? Or to kind of proceed with the steps in your plan with this energy. And with the Emperor, how can you stay firm in your action towards accomplishing your goal? Okay, so pile 2, I asked how can you guys protect your goal over here, and we got these 5 cards. So we got the 5 of Cups in upright. So the very first thing that the cards are telling you to do is to not worry, to not kind of come out in this defensive position like you're gonna get hurt. Okay, and to really just be aware of your environment, but to not be scared of the things that are kind of dangerous in this environment, right? Because that's going to bring you near to those dangerous things. And then next is we've got the Nine of Wands here, the World, Temperance, and King of Pentacles all in reverse. So just off the bat, we are seeing that to protect your goal, you need to basically be a little bit less patient, okay? You need to definitely pour your emotions and your passionate energy into this goal, okay? So, and that's how you're going to protect this goal, is when you actually start to treat it like how you would a child, something that needs to be cared for, something that needs to be attended to, something that needs to be constantly checked on and adapted or changed and adjusted to based on the situation, okay? The second thing is the World. So with this, the way to protect your goal is, again, this idea of kind of nurturing and caring for it and protecting it like you would a child, okay? Trying not to take it to places or expressing it in places where you know there will be negative energies or negative situations happening. Not maybe even getting some guidance or counseling in terms of how to proceed on the goal if you want to. Kind of like how you would go for some advice on how to raise a child, right? Into a good human being. And yeah, definitely really pouring your love into it and really kind of emoting with it. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is basically saying to hold on to it. Again, it's this idea of holding on and just being like in this energy of this goal is in my control and I wield the power to change it or change the environment and things to pursue it, okay? And then finally with the Nine of Wands, it is this energy of, again, protecting your decisions and your thoughts, okay? So do not let everyone and anyone into your thoughts, because, again, there are people that are going to be negative towards your goal, or you're going to be in certain situations where there's a lot of negativity around and you don't want that to affect your goal, okay? So just be calm and focused on your goal and be protective of your thoughts and your goal itself to in the sense that you would be towards a child, okay? Now moving on, we're going to ask about the Page of Wands. How can you put it down into writing or make a plan? Okay, guys, so I asked what you guys can do in regards to this Page of Wands energy, and we got the Strength in reverse. So from here, it basically is telling me that you need to be in tune with your own nature, whether that's your more masculine and feminine side, or whether that's your feminine or masculine side. Okay, whichever side you're kind of denying or disregarding or isn't balanced enough with your current side, I think you need to kind of take a step towards that. And once you take a step towards that, understand, okay, well, the masculine energy of myself requires this, feminine energy of myself requires this, then you will be able to get in tune with your own nature, and that'll actually help you to write down steps or plans that are in sync with your actual mode of lifestyle and action taking. It'll also help you kind of write down your steps and your goals and your plans much more easily and with flow if you don't think too much about them. Okay, now the next thing that we are asking is about the Sun. How can you guys stay focused on your goal and stay happy with your goal when you're kind of reminding yourself, right? So we got the Hangman in reverse alongside with the Six of Pentacles. And then we got the Nine of Pentacles right after it. So starting off with the Nine of Pentacles, it seems like you need to stay. The way to be kind of like happy about your goal and stay focused on it is to actually realize how much abundance each step is bringing with it. and how much more closer you are to accomplishing your goal, how your physical reality is changing and your environment is changing as you accomplish each step of the goal. Okay? And then with the hangman in reverse, it's kind of like the way to stay focused and happy with your goal is to be aware that it is releasing you, okay? So as you get more and more released and you feel less and less stuck wherever you are, it's definitely going to allow you to be more happy with the goal and to actually keep on focused on the goal because you'll be in this kind of happy, positive, uplifted energy. And with the Six of Coins coming right out after the Hangman, again, it's this, you're going to get signs, basically. Like I said, like the money is a factor towards helping you understand that you are accomplishing your goal. So with the Six of Coins coming out right next to the Hangman, you're gonna actually start accumulating wealth. And again, your physical environment is going to change because with this winter, I'm seeing like birds usually migrate, right? And you get different birds popping out. And with this, the coins being out in the environment, you can see that your environment is going to change when you kind of take the steps that you need to take towards accomplishing this goal. You're going to feel more free because you're going to have more money and wealth, and that in turn is going to help you change your environment, and that in turn is actually going to help you be guided to staying on the goal that you have chosen and accomplishing it. Okay? So, I'm not going to take analysis for how money is going to be like kind of like a factor into showing that you've accomplished your goal because we can see that already over here. That it's going to change your environment and it's going to increase in wealth. So that's going to help you feel more free and more positive, as well as going to show you that you are coming closer and closer to accomplishing your goal. Okay, now we'll take a look at the how you can kind of put your passion and energy into each step of the goal to accomplish it very quickly and fast, as well as how to stand firm against things that might possibly distract you from your goal, to stand firm with your steps and your actions. Okay, guys, so I asked what you guys can do to put all of your passion, energy, focus, and effort into the step that you would like to accomplish or the actual goal that you would like to accomplish quickly. And we got the Five of Swords in reverse. And with this, I'm focusing basically on these two birds fighting each other and the blood being drawn. So it's very much a warlike energy. And with the Page of Swords coming out, and overall, it's basically saying to... It's giving me very much a knowledgeable vibe over here, first of all, okay? And second of all, in this, it's giving me a battle vibe. So to be able to put all your passion and energy and effort, whatnot, into accomplishing the step towards your goal, as well as accomplishing your goal very quickly, the way to do that would basically be to accomplish the step as if you were in a battle. Like, if you don't do this step right now and with the right timing and with the right resources and right energy, you are going to fail, okay? So it's very much an energy or a thinking mindset of, I gotta do this or else I'll die type of, you know? And with the Page of Swords, it's basically telling you to approach that step that you want to take and keep all your eyes on that step rather than anything around you. And to really analyze it with, okay, maybe not analyze it, but to kind of look at all the minute details that are going on in that step or in that goal, okay? And to be completely focused on it. Do not get distracted by similar things in the environment or other goals that you may have. Just focus on that step or that goal one at a time. Yes. Okay, and finally, pile 2, we asked about the Emperor, okay, which was basically the characteristic of standing firm in your action and your goals, accomplishment, and not being distracted by anything. Now, funnily enough, that Emperor is being kind of balanced out with this Empress overall energy in terms of how you can stay firm in your action or your step towards accomplishing your goal. And this is basically, I think this is Persephone because she's holding a pomegranate. And this basically means to let things go and flow how they will. But know that you have an obligation that you have to fulfill and that you have to do. Okay? Understand that, yes, there are things that make you happy, specifically family or friends that you would like to spend time with and be happy with, but your goals right now are an obligation, not a choice, okay? So your goals are an obligation to yourself and even to your to God and to the world, that if you do not do these obligations, that there will be consequences, as you can see with that 5 of Swords energy from the last question. Now, what you can do to stand firm is the 4 of Cups, okay? So it's basically asking you to kind of move towards your goal, basically, and not be worried about what you're leaving behind. Don't think of it as if you're cutting off ties. Think of it more as you're going out to do some work for the day and then you'll be back in the evening time, okay? And very much deal with your emotions, okay? Definitely do not let your emotions kind of decide whether you take the step or not. You know that you need to take the step now because it is an obligation. It is, think of it as you made a contract with yourself and now you have to make those promises or oaths to yourself. Okay? And so no emotional things can get in your way, so you should not let them get in your way. Yeah. Basically, that's it. Okay, pile 2, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading and this advice helped you guys this week on accomplishing your goal by the end of December 2022. And yeah, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and stay safe, healthy, happy, and instinctual. Bye, guys. Sorry, pile 2. Before I actually leave, I just wanted to let you know that the whole time I was doing your reading, I didn't realize that this one card was left on the side. And I just saw it when I went to put the deck away. And it seems like it's a Wheel of Fortune deck. So your goal accomplishment really does depend on you. And I feel like some of you may actually accomplish it in the springtime, in like March or something. But most of you have already accomplished it by the winter time. And it's not a bad thing if you accomplish it later and not at the end of this year. It's fine. But like I said, there are people that are sitting at the 20-70% percentage. So if they do not take that advice and start actually planning and putting in all their effort and energy into accomplishing their goal, they will be kind of playing ring around the rosy and just kind of continuing their entire life not accomplishing that goal. So if you move fast, you will be able to accomplish this goal by the end of this December. But if you don't, but you still take some sort of effort, even if it's a slowed effort, you will be able to accomplish it by the time March or April comes around. But again, there will be that time period where you're just kind of gonna become distracted from the goal because it's taking so long. So it's better just to put all that effort into it right now. Also, this is not something that depends on fate. This accomplishment of the goal depends on whether you are willing to put in the effort and the energy to accomplish this goal, okay? This goal is not something that will just kind of pop up out of nowhere. You have to make an effort, and then the universe or God will align it for you to, well, God will align it for you to basically accomplish it properly and easily and completely. Okay? Now, have a wonderful weekend and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Okay, bye guys. Okay, welcome pile 3 to your reading. So, very first thing that I'm going to do is read your deck's bottom of the deck or overall energy to kind of get a tune in to what your current energy is. And then I'm going to reshuffle this deck to get a percentage-wise progress on your goal accomplishment in December, by the end of December 2022. And then after that, I'm going to take a look at physical actions with analysis, as well as characteristics with analysis that you can do or embody this week to help you accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. Okay? So, getting started off with your reading, we're going to read your current energy. So, you got the King of Cups in reverse. And the very first thing that I focused on was not only this cups over here, so it's almost like a cheers moment, but also this suit. It seems very professional and very regal and elegant. So your current energy may be that you have received a promotion, or perhaps you're working towards a promotion, or some sort of professional happiness has been received in your life, okay? Now, the next thing is right underneath that card is that you're learning to balance your professional life with your personal life, okay? So, like I said, like if you get the promotion and you're working in a professional environment, right? Or you're working towards a promotion, you need to learn to balance your professional and your emotional life with each other so that they don't kind of overbear or stop you from actually accomplishing your goal, okay? And then finally, with the star in the background, it seems like you guys are pouring your emotions and ambitions into your dreams that you want to accomplish, or your goal that you want to accomplish. But at the same time, you are very wary of the people that may be looking at your accomplishments, or very wary of sharing what you are doing to accomplish that goal. So you're very much doing this by hiding your efforts in some way. Okay, so now we're going to reshuffle and get started on the percentage-wise progress of your goal accomplishment. Okay, so your percentage-wise progress right now is 70 to 80%. Again, like you can see, this person is building up their wands or decisions, or basically having taken certain steps to reach where they have reached today. But they still need to go a little bit further, because you can see they're still on their horse riding off into the distance. And on top of that, it's the same as your current energy, where they're kind of being wary of the people that are watching them build this accomplishment or go off into battle and build further successes, or towns, I guess you could say. So it is 70 to 80% of an accomplishment for pile 3. Then with the 3 of Swords, so again, you got the 70% over here. Oh, I just saw this as 6. Okay. Well, I'm still going to go with the 70 to 80% because that's what I read it as. But 70 to 80%, and with the 70, we got the 3 in reverse, okay? So that means basically you're missing 30%. 20 to 30%, I would say, and of accomplishing your goal. And honestly, it's not like anything's holding you back anymore. It's just a matter that you haven't accomplished your goal yet. There are certain things that you still need to do, certain steps. Okay. And then finally, you've got the Ace of Coins. So once you complete those 3 or 4 steps that you need to take, you will actually be in the Ace of Coins, or the complete cornucopia of your goal accomplishment and physical reality abundance or wealth. Okay? So now we're going to take a look at the physical actions. Okay, pile 3, so when I asked what actions you can do this week to help you accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022, I got the 9 of coins, and then the 2 of wands with the page of coins in reverse and the ace of wands in reverse. So the first action is basically taking a moment to kind of reflect upon all the things that you have accomplished thus far in terms of your physical reality and your goal. And then and this is basically kind of like letting you know what position you are in or how far you have progressed in accomplishing your goal. It's a move basically to kind of let you know about your status update in terms of your actual physical wealth and abundance and reality, as well as your goal progress. Okay? The next thing that you guys need to do is, after you have understood where you guys are in terms of your goal progress, as well as what you have accomplished thus far in your physical reality along this journey of accomplishing this goal, you need to make a decision. It is a big decision that you may need to make, and you will need to consider a lot of worldly factors, okay? So this could be things like, if I take this decision, then how much money will it make? What are the roles and responsibilities of this decision? Things like that, okay? So you need to see the actual real life impact or factors that need to be kind of compared to help you make a decision, okay? And then with the page of coins and the ace of wands, this is basically telling you to make a decision so that you can gain control of your wealth and your physical abundance, but also control of your decisions and your actions, or the way that you move forward in life, okay? So that is what it is asking you to do. Now I'm going to go on to the characteristics, but after the characteristics, I'm going to ask some questions pertaining to what you need to kind of reflect upon to understand your status, and also what factors you need to kind of measure the decisions against, so that you can make a decision that allows you control over your wealth and abundance, as well as your decisions and actions or motions. Okay, so pile 3, I asked what characteristics you guys can embody this week to accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. Now, this 4 of Cups actually flipped out of the deck, but the Empress card came out when I was trying to take this one out. It just whipped out by itself. So I'm keeping that as well. Now, with the Empress card, you can see that basically the characteristic that you need to embody is to really own your divine feminine energy of authority, basically, because the different masculine and feminine energies have different ways of kind of gaining control and authority over a situation. Okay, men or masculine energy does it through their physical intimidation or their physical energy, whereas a feminine or a female energy will do it through their internal energy and their personality or their character. Okay, so basically you really have to embody your divine feminineness and gain control and authority by appealing your character to the decision maker. Okay, this doesn't mean that you have to go and sleep with them. Okay, appealing does not mean that, but to really be true to your character and your values so that they understand who you actually are. And that is basically appealing to them. Okay, now with the 4 of Cups coming out in reverse, the characteristic that you need to embody this week would be kind of like, would be a sharing characteristic, okay? So share your emotions, share what you want to accomplish, and in return, you are going to get what you want by positive affirmations and confirmations by the other party, okay? Now I'm going to look at how you can kind of share your emotions without disrupting your goal progress, and how you can embody this Empress or Divine Feminine energy to gain control and authority over the situation. All right, so the detailed analysis for the actions. First, we are going to ask about this action. How can you understand what your current status is in regards to your goal accomplishment progress, as well as the abundance that you have physically gained in your reality? And the answer to that was the King of Cups in reverse. But this time, instead of focusing on the cup, I was focusing on the crown. So really how you would know where you are currently in your goal accomplishment would be your actual ranking or position in the place that you work. Like I said, I feel like pile three's goal has something to do with career and finances. So, and like I said in the, I believe in the overall reading, to basically gain a promotion, right? And so how you would know whether you have reached a certain status or a certain level in your goal accomplishment would just be your ranking or your position in your office firm or your place of work. And that would help you kind of also understand what you have earned thus far as well. Because of course, as your ranking goes up, your income goes up, your benefits goes up, etc. Okay, moving on to these actions, I'm going to see what factors you need to consider when making a decision to be able to make a decision that allows you to control your wealth and your physical reality, plus also your decisions and your motions or actions. Okay, so I asked what factors, and the answer was, I asked what factors, and the answer was the King of Swords in reverse, Ace of Coins, which is another one of your overall energy cards, the Hermit, and the King of Wands, which is kind of like the opposite of the Ace of Wands. Okay? Now, with this, you can also kind of see that you got Swords, Coins, Wands, and the Hermit. So you got 3 of the suits, plus also one of the major arcana. Now, with the King of, the very first thing that I focused on, the very first factor or the most important factor that may be to you would be the Ace of Coins. So how much money are you getting from this decision versus this decision? Okay, how much more money do you have, or how much money do you have, and how much control over that money do you have? Like, are you getting like 50% in salary and then 50% going to benefits? Then that's not really having control over that money, right? So you're looking at how much money you're getting, but also how much control you have over that money. And then the next one was the Hermit. So the Hermit was talking mostly about like how isolated are you in this job position, as well as how much independence you get in this job position. Like, is there time for you to kind of, go off on your own and just, work by yourself? I think that is another thing that you kind of really hold dear and valuable to you, the ability to work by yourself and to able to do things by yourself and in isolation, away from any distractions or any other things that you may need to focus on to accomplish the goal. And then finally, we've got the King of Wands. So this is how much control or authority you have in the position or the decision. how much of that authority or control can you wield freely, okay? So are you restricted by in any sort of way by your position? Do you have certain limits of control or authority over others? And then finally, with the King of Swords coming out in reverse, it's still giving me a vibe of how much control you have over your actions, but this is specifically your own actions rather than other people's actions. Okay, so again, like I said, like you like to work alone and have that authority and control over your own decisions, right? But with the King of Swords, it's really hammering that idea in by saying, how much control do I have over my own actions as well? Am I going to be forced to do things that I don't want to do, or can I do the things that I want to do without suffering any consequences or some sort of like breach on company policies or anything like that, or again going against my ranking and authority position? Okay, now with the characteristics, we are going to see how can you kind of share your emotions without making yourself vulnerable to not accomplishing this goal, as well as the Empress. How can you embody this divine feminine energy of yourself to appeal to the decision maker without, of course, in an appropriate and sensible way? Okay, pile 3. So I asked, what can you guys do to share your emotions or express yourselves without making yourselves vulnerable to not accomplishing your goal? And we got the 10 of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Coins in reverse, and the Queen of Coins in reverse. And from this, we can see basically to share or express your emotions, you need to not be afraid of being hurt, okay? Do not go, like, I think you guys pre-assume that people are out there to hurt you and harm you, but I think you need to get rid of this idea, okay, that people are there to hurt you or harm you. And you need to understand that they can only hurt you or harm you if you let them, okay? Plus, on top of that, I don't think you need to express or share all of your emotions. I think you only need to share the ones that are kind of crucial to sharing your goal and your intention sharing your goal and your intention towards your goal in terms of where you work. Coming right next to the Knight of Coins and the Queen of Coins in reverse, it's again telling us basically to share the emotions that are not really your true emotions, okay? You're not sharing like your sad story or your personal life story. You are sharing emotions in the sense of how you feel towards a certain promotion or a certain rank, how you feel towards a certain project, okay? So these are mostly superficial emotions that you guys are sharing. And then with the Queen of Coins, again, it's sharing the opportunity that you would like to grab a hold of or the goal that you would like to accomplish, okay? So really what you guys are talking about or expressing your emotions is really just your excitement or your heightened interest or passion towards a certain project or goal or rank and position, okay? With the Page of Wands in reverse, that's the second thing that you can do to share or express your emotions, okay? So that is basically, this card is basically telling us to go the opposite of the Page of Wands, right? To really show just a spark of your decision-making ability, okay? I think you guys, again, are aiming for an authority position, a control position, and somewhere where you can work independently without your ability or your decision-making in terms of when you are making the decision, okay? And to do that, you need to actually show or show the people who will be making that decision your ability to kind of be passionate about certain roles and to be able to actually make decisions and wise decisions. Even if you just show like one smart decision or a small smart decision, or maybe guide them in a, in a tactful manner, that itself is also going to appeal to them. And then finally, with the Temperance card, we've got patience. So again, it's this idea of adapting. So not letting your emotions kind of get stuck in one place or to one person, but to kind of share your emotions or express your goals and your intentions all over where there is a decision-making ability present, decision maker present, okay? So, and I think you also need to be patient about when this goal will be accomplished or how it will be accomplished. And you need to kind of adapt to that route that gets selected, okay? And then finally, with the overall answers, energy being Four of Cups in reverse, there's definitely an idea of happiness here, but it's kind of like giving me networking vibes, or kind of like, again, this fact of appealing to the decision maker by sharing your intentions and your emotions towards this position or project. And again, like I said, networking, right? So not just going towards one specific decision maker, but to go to all the decision makers that may have any say in the matter. Okay? And to be able to adapt your intentions and the way you express yourself to those people, but also to make sure that you are showing that passion and that decision-making ability that you have. Okay? All right, Pile 3, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. I'm not going to do the Empress thing because that was basically asking us how we can appeal to the decision makers, and we already answered that in these 3 slash and a half type of card readings. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and the advice in this reading is going to be applicable during this week. And I hope you guys have all the success and abundance, and you guys accomplish your goal by the end of December 2022. Have a lovely Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I will see you in the new year when we have a new reading. All right, bye guys.